Let's see. Okay. Good evening, Team Beast. And for those of you joining us for the very first time, thank you for clicking on Beast Capacity Outdoors. I'm your leader, Team Beast, Daddy Beast. And this is making Mama T a birthday gift, part 2. Yeah, I told you guys I'd come back next morning. Well, it's next evening. I'm on antibiotics, so they make me sleep. And yeah, so I'm getting it all set up now. Going over set. Like I said, I have a Little Chief from Smokehouse Products, made in Hood River, Oregon. And there it is right here. You know, it comes with 4 trays. I got one right here. The door, the heating element, the pot to put your shavings and wood chips and that stuff and pellets in. I'm using alder and cherry wood, so not apple, cherry wood. So what happens is we plug it in, comes up to temp to 165, starts warming the wood tray. It goes right there, just right on top of the element, and it sits in its own little space down there when the door's on it. Then the smoke rises and all that. So each tray, each one of these pans is about an hour of smoke. I'm going to put 2 on it tonight. It is thick. I cut these to a 1/4 inch. I've dried them off as much as I can. They've been sitting out here in the open air breeze probably for about an hour and a half now. And so I've got almost all 5 pounds on 4 trays. You need the 5th tray to get all 5 pounds. You get about 1 pound on each one. This is about what I got left. Maybe 1/2 pound of meat, if that, 1/4 pound. I'll probably cook it up and see how it tastes. But yeah, this right here is a little close to normal, but it's okay. It might stick together, it might not. But we're going to get a couple hours of smoking on this, and all that, and then probably going to let it sit overnight in the smoker at 165, which will dehydrate. And after the 2 hours of smoke, we'll flip the 2 bottom trays to the top trays, and the top trays down to the bottom after the first thing of smoke. And like I said, it's going to be alderwood chips from Smokehouse Products. You can go to smokehouseproducts.com, I think it is, and get all this stuff from. The cherry wood pellets, actual pellets, comes from Walton's, which is where I get my sausage supply stuff and things like that for making sausages and snack sticks. So, like I said, it's Walton's. Yeah, Walton's Inc. Let's see, hopefully you got the... I can't spin the camera around here. So, yeah, there we go. It comes in a 2 pound bag. It's like $4 plus shipping, whatever. But yeah, so we're about ready to be done here. I figured come on and show you. I told you I would. Because these are unedited, open, filmed, just on my camera phone. For now, until I can get back into the swing of things fully. What I'm going to do is I'll take a quick break here. I'll show you some of the stuff behind me, because we are outside, you know, in the garden area. And what's that? Oh, string lights. But yeah, so we got 3 trays in here now. And then the drip tray, which catches all the fat and water and juices that come off of it as it's drying. So what we'll do here is, yeah, see all the stuff that's dripped off of it. But yeah, that's the last tray it's going in. Goes in right on top here. And then, you know, it's being a front loader. drop it just like that. And then down here is the smoke flap. So what we'll do, we'll put the smoke tray in right on top of the element. That's how it'll sit for an hour. Of course, it's going to sit where I'm at, because this is a slate table under me that I used to sit on out here. But we are going to leave the wood chips out here. I'll end up taking tray in with me because, well, you know, this stuff smokes out, because I'm just going to take the last bit that's there, a little ½ pound, cook it up, a little hungry. Black Rose and Cody and Pan. And I think Angie too, not sure. I think it was just, I think it was just the three of them that went. They're downtown in Anaheim at the Garden Walk, I think. There's supposed to be some big Halloween kitschy walkthrough thing or something. Boutique shopping thing. But I'm on antibiotics and lungs aren't doing too well, so I can't do all that walking. Matter of fact, when I called Black Rose, Allison, a little bit ago, their scheduled appointment, because you had to come in during certain lot breaks, was for 5 p.m. And when I called at about 6, they still hadn't gotten in yet. They had said yesterday and the day before there was like a couple hour wait to get in, you know, waiting in line. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that, and so I decided not to go. But I had this to do anyways, and I'm on antibiotics, so I got some sleep in today, because it's what it does to me. So I'm gonna move this here, put it where I'm sitting. I'm gonna plug it in. So I'm gonna see. Perfect. Oh yeah. That's just a little bit heavier. There we go. Okay, so I plugged it in. It's DC outlet bolt, you know, 110 volt kind of thing around. And the element will heat up the wood chips, and it'll smoke it up. And there's Buddy. I guess he needs to take a walk and relieve himself. You know, hey, we all got to go to the bathroom. But now while that's getting going, while it's starting ready to smoke, take about 10-15 minutes. I'm going to tell you some of the cool stuff that we got growing in the garden.
You're talking to your mom?
No, the YouTube video.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, that was Allison's mom. But yeah, so as y'all know, we've been green thumbing it out here, trying to reclaim a garden area that's been super clay. A lot of this area's got a lot of clay in it, and so we've been using the root stout method to reclaim it, and we've done pretty good so far. The soil's starting to get softer. There's less of a clay. There's more of the deteriorated soil that you'll find, topsoil that you'd find in most gardens. And we use straw. You can't really see too well. Grass is starting to come up. We need to get more hay, more alfalfa grass hay in here. We got straw by accident the first time. It should have been alfalfa grass hay. But if you can see, there's a big old green vine and what looks like cucumbers hanging off of them, or zucchini hanging off them. It's not zucchini or cucumber, but it has taken over. You can see some of the yellow flowers over there. This is one plant. Oh, okay, my lungs are bugging, so I'm gonna have to sit down a moment. No. This is one plant. one single solitary plant. We had 6. 3 Egyptoponicus, which is what this is, and these are long loofah, and a very rare seed one. Oh, yeah, I think that's the one that survived. But out of 6 plants, 3 of each. I mean, the seeds are hard to germinate to a degree, but when you get them to germinate, and when you get them hardened off and they stick, and they stay around and they survive, you had better have a trellis for them. I mean, I'm talking like that pergola right up here kind of trellis if you got more than one. I mean, even this one behind me, I mean, that's our original trellis. Just an A-frame trellis, about 4.5 foot high, and steel rotted, and it comes up in the middle of the leg. It's about 8 foot long, maybe a little bit more, 12 foot maybe, with the rods that we put across the top. And we put a crawling net on it, on the one side and everything. And we put this single solitary plant, which we didn't think was going to make it. And all of a sudden, in the last 3 months, 3 months, this has just blown out and has just kicked off in growth. I was ready to take it out because we had started growing this back in March. Yeah, early March. We started, getting stuff together, to garden. Once COVID hit in May, we finally had everything we needed, and I got the garden boxes going. I got that kind of stuff, or got the starters going while we saved up to get the boxes. And so in May, they were kicking they were tiny, kicking well, did everything they're supposed to do, get rid of the 2 seed leaves, and once the new leaves come in, and they kind of seemed stunted there for a while. And then we put them in the dirt once we got this box, the tomato box, and got all the tomatoes going. And I'm sitting there in a couple months, and there's just a little bit growing, a little bit growing. I had 2 plants in there, 1 died immediately, out of the 6, so we only had the 1 left. I don't know if it's going to make it, I don't know if it's going to make it, I don't know if it's going to make it. What's the matter, buddy? We'll go in a little bit. So, I didn't think it was going to survive, so I was ready to pull it out and put in something else. We'd already had cantaloupe growing, which we got 4 cantaloupes out of, which were pretty good. We waited a little too long to harvest on the last 2, because when we went to pick them, we didn't realize they were already off the vine. So we picked those a little too late, so the sweetness had gone from them a bit, and they were a little bland. They were still juicy, watery, everything. Our ancient watermelon that we got 1 of out of there on the front plant, got to about 5 pounds. Wow, juicy, juicy, juicy. And that was another one. Because the heat waves that we had just didn't grow all that fast and grow proper. So it stunned a little bit, but it was a little overripe when we picked it too. But it was still sweet and filled with watermelon juice in it, filled with seeds. So we harvested the seeds. You could eat the watermelon all the way into the rind like you couldn't on a regular watermelon that you get from the grocery store. And you get down to that green pithy white stuff, and you don't want to eat it because it's kind of bitter. This, I literally bit through and didn't realize I'd bit into that white pithy area that you have on watermelons. Well, that's actually still watermelon meat that just hasn't completely fully developed. And so I didn't realize I'd bit into that and almost bit through the skin of the watermelon. Now, we were about to trash this sucker here. This is an ancient watermelon. I mean, it's really, really, really tiny, the leaves. And Cody pointed out, Cody pointed out a baby watermelon. So we have a baby ancient watermelon growing. I don't know how well it's going to do. But over here, I know it's kind of dark now, but right over here is our dragon tongue beans. And we've pulled beans off of this thing 5 times now. And each time there's been at least a half a pound to a pound of beans that we've been able to eat 2 meals off of. And we've got more beans growing on it right now. They do look like they're coming to the end, so this might be one of the last couple of harvests that we'll get off of the dragon tongue beans. They're a little bushy, they're getting a little weak, but they're okay. And then we have the biggest one. If you can see it, the biggest loofah there. That was the first one that came in. We got another, well, besides the one that came in here that was hooked into the fence and all crookily, we have another 5 that are growing over here now. The bees went away because of the heat wave, and now that a lot of the heat's over, they're coming back, so they're pollinating again. And then our big tomato forest, and our surprise one right here. I need to go through and pick some more. We got yellow pear tomatoes everywhere. So, but anyhow, I'm going to take off. It's getting dark. It's not smoking yet. I'll come back tomorrow and let you guys know how that's done. But yeah, this is, I'm at the dragon tongue plant right now. That's a dragon tongue bean right there. But I'll come back tomorrow in the daylight because I got to bit that off in the morning. I want to say good night. So good night, Team Beast. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell. You get notified when these come back up. And we'll see you in the morning or afternoon. But when I get to this again tomorrow, it'll have to be in the morning. But Team Beast, stay good. Stay safe. Wear the mask. Be good. Be kind. Team Beast. All the way.